Okay, we're rolling. Hey, how's it going? Okay, winter time and the living is easy. It's winter in Mekampong. It's come. Nanao maleo, nanao maleo. The cool season has arrived. It's down around 10 degrees in the morning, low 20s in the afternoon, and sunny. Occasionally some clouds, but it'll probably rain a bit here and there, but for the most part, the rain is gone. And it's going to start drying out, which is really awesome. Yes, I'm here getting water again. Surprise, surprise. Let's clean that out. It's been sitting around for 5 days, just gathering whatever. That should do it. Get it. Oh yeah, so this is the, well, you know, of course, ooh, this is kind of dirty too. Just clean that out. Of course, every season up here is beautiful. I was afraid of the rainy season for a long time. But after 3 of them, it's actually quite beautiful. It is more challenging, and it's especially more challenging for me because of my instruments and that sort of thing. Trying to keep the humidity levels down. But I'm working on some solutions, and pretty soon I'm going to start making guitars, and that's sort of a different ball game, right? You're dealing with different woods, so dealing with humidity levels becomes a much trickier proposition. Anyway, I'll do my best. I got some solutions up my sleeve. And also with the dry season coming in, it's still pretty humid right now, like the usual 85-90%. But soon that will start dropping, you know. It takes a while for it to dry out, but pretty soon it'll be down to a nice normal 50% during the day kind of thing. That would be nice. Yeah, so that's going to be really fun. Looking forward to that new challenge and adventure in guitar making. But I've been working on a couple of shamisen, one to commission, and left-hand shamisen. It's going really well. Trying out some new skins, and I'm trying it out on this shamisen that's almost done first before I put on Miles's instrument. It's a goat skin. Anyway, tomorrow I'll string that particular shamisen up and see how it works, you know. Maybe I'll blow the skins out and then I'll have to buy more skins. Ugh, it's expensive. Anyway, it's all an adventure. Anyway, so, right, what else is going on? Oh, lots. Mayhem in North America. Mayhem in North America. That's the general way of things there, I think. It all seems crazy from over here to watch it, you know? You watch it on the internet. You can watch all the news, and there's lots of news about the internet. What is it? Internet neutrality going down the tubes. That's not so good. But how much do I care about that? I guess I do care about it. Freedom and all that crap. Whatever that is. But if I want to be selfish, at this moment in time, if I can look up little tips on guitar making on the internet, then that's all good with me. How selfish. Anyway, we'll see what happens with all that. What else is going on? Oh, it's been really warm up in the Arctic. Like really huge anomalies of heat. Like above freezing. It's crazy. Like I have a friend in Yakutsk, which is in Siberia. It's the coldest, I think Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia is the coldest capital city in the world. But Yakutsk is colder. It's in the Sakha Republic, Yakutia. It's colder, but it's a capital of I guess you could say a province or a territory. I'm not too sure what Yakut is. I'm not sure what it is in Russia. I guess it's kind of like a province. Anyway, so it's way colder. Like right now, they're getting 40 below zero. So that's pretty cold. It's been a while since I had to wander around at 40 below zero, I'll tell you. Actually, you know that the coldest I've been in some pretty cold weather and camped in cold weather too. The coldest I've camped without heat is about 40 below. It's quite a trip, I'll tell you. And the coldest I've been with like a wood tent with a wood stove is a little bit colder than that, like 42 below. Anyway, but that's way easier to deal with, having a wood stove. That's what you need to do, that in cold weather. I mean, it's heavy. You can do the mountaineering stuff, you know, with the tents and sleeping bags and stuff, but for long term, for real living, proper living, you need to have a tent with a stove, and a proper tent with a stove. Like old style, native people live that way. You know, of course, in the Arctic, high Arctic, Inuit and those folks, they didn't have tents and wood stoves. I mean, they had tents, like I said, skin tents traditionally, and modern canvas ones. But in the winter, usually, of course, they used snow shelters, like igloos and stuff. And with those, you can't put a big fire in them. For one thing, there's no bloody wood around. And any wood you would have, you'd really want to save that for making things like kayaks and umiaks and sleds and all that stuff. We're talking traditional living, right? Here, we're not talking modern times. Anyway, yeah. But in lower latitudes, where they were still in the forest, people slept in tents and stuff, teepees, wigwam type situations, all kinds of things. And in winter, you just get a wood fire going. It's great. Right. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So the coldest I was in Saskatchewan trimming horses, and although it warmed up to -20 by the end of the week, and that was really nice. You know, I got myself situated in the sun trimming horses, and it was just beautiful. But the early part of the week was -40. And I distinctly remember walking around. I just went for a walk in the morning, you know. Incredible bright sun, blue sky, the crisp cold. I don't know if you've never experienced it. Even the walking on the snow, it's just quite an experience. Anyway, but there was a bit of a wind. And I had this I put a picture on, when I put this on Facebook, I put a picture of this image. I have this mask I made out of beaver fur, I guess. So anyway, I was pretty toasty, for sure. But you do, when you're walking around, so the wind chill was 50 below zero Celsius. Yikes. So when you're walking around that kind of cold, you can't, or I'll say you, whatever, you can't help but think, wow, if I trip and knock myself out for 20 minutes, that's me done. My life is done with. It's been a good one. It does sharpen the senses, I'll tell you, when you're in that situation. And the same thing, it's not just in cold, eh? Like, any time when you're walking somewhere or out in the nature, we'll say, I guess, bush, somewhere where you have a sense that, ooh, this could be a bit tricky, risky. It does amp up the, I find it amps up the awareness, which is really wonderful, right? I think that's partly why it's so great to go into those situations, because it does, like, wakes you up, you know? It's a really great thing, because in the modern world, I think, mostly, it's hard not to just fall asleep. Metaphorically and literally. Although I guess a lot of people have trouble sleeping now. So anyway. Yeah, so, like here for instance, I don't go anywhere without one eye on the ground looking for snakes at all times. You know, I think it's a wise idea anyway. I'm sure People die from cobra bites and stuff up here too. Someone died a few years ago, I think. But I can imagine that people that live here and spend a lot of time in the forest, you know, that their awareness of that sort of thing is very sharp. It's hard for me to learn because I don't, language and all that stuff, but I learn what I can by watching, right? Even I learn by watching what people wear, right? So, you know, you get people coming here wearing shorts and t-shirts or tank tops and going in the forest and like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Anyway, bugs and stuff. Anyway, but yeah. So the snake thing, keep an eye out for. I didn't grow up with snakes, right? I mean, we had snakes, but garter snakes, little non-venomous snakes, right? We had rattlesnakes up in the Bruce Peninsula, and when I was in the southern prairies in Saskatchewan and south central Alberta, there were rattlesnakes there too, but you know, not quite the same scale of venomity. Anyway, so keep an eye on the snakes. Eh? But I was also listening, I've been listening to Jordan Peterson's biblical series. I mean, he's getting a lot of flack, I'll tell you. Poor guy, I'd say. It's mostly misrepresentations, I'd say. Anyway, but he talks a lot about snakes and how we have this deep fear of snakes. And he hypothesizes that it comes from the days in our early hominid times, ancestral memory, where we lived in the trees and snakes and where, you know, snakes are a serious risk, and well, snakes are on the ground too, so even then. So yeah, it's shown that with animals that have never experienced a snake, that it doesn't matter. They have an innate fear of them, which is very interesting. So I'm very conscious of that, and it's compounded by the fact that I didn't grow up with them around me. There's not much in the way of snakes in Northern Ontario, for instance. However, one example that maybe backs up Professor Peterson's point, when I was on my long ride, let's see, where were we? We were near Writing on Stone Park in southern Alberta. Oh, go there. It's a stunning part of the world. Southern Alberta, south central Alberta, Writing on Stone. Anyway, we were riding along, and there's rattlesnakes all over the place. But they're just hiding in holes, right? It wasn't like they're just lying up in the open on that day anyway. But so we maybe ran across 5, but we didn't run across them literally. We heard them, me and my 2 horses. But it was great because because Dakota, who was with me? I guess Coco was the pack horse. Anyway, I'm just thinking of Dakota because I was riding him. With the first rattlesnake, when we were by the road, he literally just sideways right into the middle of the road. That was it. There's no getting him off the middle of the road. There's just no way. He knew that sound was not a good sign. So luckily it wasn't a very busy road. But yeah, we were walking on that road for quite a ways. Yes, there's a lot of rattlesnakes there. Anyway, so that kind of backs up that idea of snakes being an innate thing you stay away from no matter what species you are. Anyway, that's enough for now. I'm going to switch it around as I walk back. Bye. Okay, we're back. Actually, going to switch it. Okay, here we go. Right, so I thought I'd actually... Not too many people watch all my videos, which is fine. But I wanted to show, I did a lot of videos where at some point I focused on this tree that fell. Just a mere 2 meters from where I sit to get my water. Didn't fall where I was, it fell at some other time, so that's nice. I didn't poo my pants in that case. But you might remember the root ball. So here it is. Can you see, I don't know if you've seen the older ones, Anyway, I'm sure you can imagine that a lot of the dirt is slowly being melted off, eh? And on top of that, look at all the plants growing out of it. It's just like a scene from Princess Mononoke. It's just bursting forth. That's the falls under the category as nature's great. Nature's just great. Anyway, time to go back. Oh, I have to say thank you to the water. Yeah, need to say thank you to the water. Always. Okay, thanks. Awesome. Okay. Okay, here we go. So let's do a bit of walking. Not too sure how long I've been going so far, but yeah, look, the sky's blue. Yeah, there you go. Gorgeous, eh? Well, some clouds and stuff, that's nice. A few clouds never hurts. It was really clear this morning. Typically, quite often it might be super clear in the morning and then start to cloud up as the day moves on. Makes sense as the, moisture evaporates from the ground. There's a lot of moisture in the ground right now. Moisture evaporates, builds clouds. It's really nice walking up because I saw a lot of my neighbors. Pisutam, the neighbors around her. I met the nice man, Kunjira Sat, who drives the Broomlight van up from here. They're doing 3 trips a day now, there and back. 150 baht to come to Mekampong. You can see a lot of leaves are starting to fall. Sometimes at some point during I guess towards the end of the cold season, I usually bring a broom up and sweep the trail. It's my part of doing my part to help out. I need to be a little careful walking on leaves because some of the snakes look like a pile of leaves. Like the Malayan pit viper. That's one I've always got in my brain. That one I think looks like a pile of leaves. And whatnot. And there's a real smell to the air that's very distinct with this change of season. Of course, there's quite a distinct smell when the rainy season comes on too, which is beautiful as well. Oh, I wanted to show you this cool thing. This was leaking. Every time I went by, it was leaking. I kept thinking, oh, I should bring up my glue and stuff. It's a bit of a job to do that because you have to go up to the top and turn that tap off. It needs to be dry to glue it, right? But someone cleverly tied these pieces together. So this isn't, you can see that it's under quite a bit of tension, eh? And that's probably just holding it together. Maybe they put some glue in there too, I don't know, but I'm not going to test it. But very clever. Smart. Yeah, it was kind of gushing water there for a while. Oh, look at that. Look at this old cistern. Oh, look at that. Look at, there's a little hole there. This was, they've got a different system going, I guess, but at one point they probably built this to hold water and then pipe it down. Looks like it's still functioning to a degree, but it was probably holding a lot of water at some point. Now I think it's just pipes joining pipes, because there's this other big cistern down below, and then there's the actual water tanks closer to the road, you know. Oh, it's that bamboo. I was thinking of grabbing that last time, but then I thought maybe someone cut it to take with them, but it's been here for a week. I could probably grab it. Anyway, I don't really need it now. Cut some bamboo earlier in the week. I guess this is becoming a meditative walking thing. Oop, there's a big branch here. Oh, someone's cutting something. Big branch. Oops. Ah, get off me, you wee second thing. Alright. Whoosh. Oh, see the water's still flowing here. This part of the trail it's always wet. It's still a little bit wet, but it's drying out. Here's that cistern. You know, like just a couple weeks ago, that right in the center there, water was just gushing over there. No, it's not. Oh, my boots got muddy. Don't like that. Oh, they're clean now. Wow, that's a big noise, hey? Anyway, maybe I'll flip it. Yeah, anyway. Oh, here we go. Back home. Got a few things to do today. It's weird to be busy, actually. I like it. Pretty busy making instruments and all that. And I'm gonna be busy with the guitars. I got enough materials pretty much, I'd say, for 2 guitars coming. I'm gonna keep one. First one, I'm using some special woods that I want to use. But if anyone wants to buy the second one, just let me know. I mean, I'll let you. I'm not gonna commit. You don't need to commit, but if you think you might like it, just let me know. It's gonna be flamenco with tuning pegs, flamenco pegs, like viola size probably. But I like the pegs. I like the way it looks and all that. Could do tuning machines, I guess. Don't really like them anyway. But I think what I might do with the flamencos anyway is do pegs normally, and if someone wants something a bit easier to tune, it's not difficult to tune with tuning pegs. I used to do it on my viola all the time. You know, I gut strings and all that. It's not hard. Anyway, but some people are intimidated by it, fair enough. But there's these geared pegs that look like violin pegs there's one brand called Planetary Pegs, I guess, and they're geared 4-to-1, so probably a lot easier to use. And I can do that. They fit in the same taper and everything, as far as I can tell. So that's an option if someone wants that. I'd be willing to do that, but it'll cost them more money. Those pegs cost like, I don't know, $200 US for a set, whereas a set of tuning pegs might cost like 20. So, you can do the arithmetic. Anyway, my guitars aren't going to be too expensive at first. Oh, there's these, one of the best cases, one of the greatest, what's the word? One of the great guitar cases, and they're making, I think, violin cases too now, is this company called Visit Nut. And the fellow that runs it, Kunjeep Visit Nut, he's also a really great guitar maker. I think he makes classical guitars. Anyway, he also put this company together to make these amazing cases. So I can include one of those cases with my guitars. I'd love to do that because they look fantastic, but they're not cheap, right? I'm happy. I'm on like a, what's the word? Not really a dealership. I don't sell them, but they were very kind and put me in as kind of like a dealer, but more or less just as a maker, to so I can buy them at basically wholesale price, right? I'm more than happy to buy them, have them shipped up here, and just include that with the guitars, like not make a profit on that. That's totally good for me. And if someone wants them, I'd recommend it. The other thing that I got a couple of things are these Boveda humidification things. And it's a very interesting thing because they don't just humidify, but they dehumidify. So they basically try to maintain a 50% humidity level. And I'd love to be able, we'll see how things go with the guitars. You know, who knows, maybe I'll make 1 and 2 and that's it. But I suspect I'll be wanting to make lots. Anyway, I'm thinking, it'd be really great if I could just make that part of my price, you know? A Visit Nut case and a Boveda bovid humidification thing. I think it'd be great. Anyway, we'll see where it all goes. Anyway, maybe I'll put links to those places if anyone's interested. But yeah, those cases for sure. Yeah, and part of it is me trying to figure out how to deal with the humidity up here. So a great case that has excellent, sealing from climate and stuff that I can put, silica gel in as well as these Boveda things to maintain a good humidity level. Sounds like a good idea. Anyway, we'll see. Now I'm just rambling. This was all about nature and stuff, and it ended up just all about me. Okay, hope everyone's good. Damn, that's loud. It's that place just down. I can see the roof from here. It's they're building a homestay, so I guess they're at it. Okay, hope everyone's doing great out there. Get out in nature if you get a chance. Okay, ciao.